On its website, the CHA Clinic calls itself world-renowned, with facilities in Seoul, South Korea, and Los Angeles, posting happy testimonials. But a federal lawsuit filed by an unnamed New York couple alleges the CHA Clinic mixed up their embryos, showing reckless disregard, causing severe emotional distress. According to the lawsuit, the couple was told 2 of the embryos used were female. The husband and wife were ecstatic to learn that after years of trying to conceive, they had success. But in March, the couple was shocked when she gave birth to twin boys who were not of Asian descent, using embryos belonging to 2 other couples. They had to turn over custody of the babies, according to the lawsuit, and they don't know what happened to their embryos. The CHA Clinic has not responded to the lawsuit or to NBC News' request for comment.
I'm not all that surprised that these mistakes are reported. No state or federal or professional association monitors or regulates these practices very closely.
Tonight, new concerns about a lack of federal oversight of the nearly 500 fertility clinics nationwide trusted to help create families. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, New York.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.